Hey guys, Jaime Pfeffer back with you again today for another Pick a Crystal reading. In this reading, we are going to look at what is going on with my emotions. If you have been feeling emotions that are going up and down, or you're crying or getting angry or anything like that, you are definitely going to want to stick around for this video. Welcome back, and thank you so much for being with me today. If you have been experiencing a lot of moodiness recently, or you just find yourself like crying at the drop of a hat, or just a lot of emotions coming to the surface, this is the reading for you. You're going to pick a crystal to see what could be causing this emotional, and I'm also going to pick some cards to tell you what can help you deal with this difficult time or just the erratic emotions and ways that you can help yourself and keep yourself calm. So all you need to do next is take a look at the 3 crystals that are on your screen in front of you. And what you want to do is see if any of these crystals seem to be speaking to you in any way. Do you feel pulled to any of them? Are any of them kind of like jumping off the page to you? Any of them catching your eye? So take a moment and see which of those 3 crystals seems to be calling to you. And once you have your choice, you can go forward in the video and listen, or you can go down below, and in the description box, you will see something that says timestamps. If you chose crystal B or C, you can go down and find the timestamp for that reading, and you can click on it and just jump immediately there. Okay? So I will pick, now that you've got your crystal, I will see you in your individual reading. Bye. Hi to everybody that chose crystal A. And real quick before I jump in, I just want to thank you for being with me today. I want to tell you and validate you that if you are having these feelings, you're definitely not alone. It's okay to experience or feel anything that you feel, and you're not alone. I just want you to know that, and you're not making it up, okay? Sometimes as sensitive people, we feel so much more than other people. We can talk to people around us who just don't feel these things, that we actually can start to believe like, wow, am I just making this up? Is there something wrong with me? X, Y, and Z. And I want you to know that there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. You are a wonderful being, okay? So I am going to pick different cards, I think, for every crystal, but we'll see. So what I'm really hearing for you is to pick from the Love Oracle. This is Island Time Wellness's Love Oracle. So I'm going to pick some of these just to get some information about where you are, okay? So give me an idea of where crystal A, anybody that chose crystal A, how are they feeling? And the other thing is, I was really feeling like this was about power. So I brought a couple decks that are about power. Okay, so the first one, wow, okay, beautiful. So we've got 2 cards right away, and the first one is the boat, okay? The boat. And the boat talks about receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure issues. So you are definitely in a place in your life right now where you're moving from one thing or even one cycle, I'm hearing. So it could be like a karmic cycle that you've been in for a very long time. You are finally, I'm saying finally because that's what your guides are giving me, you're finally moving out of that and into something new, okay? I have a feeling that this has really been a struggle for you, and you're like in this space right now where, you know, you didn't want to be in the old thing, but you're not fully in the new thing either, and it just may be uncomfortable for you, okay? I feel like even as soon as last week, you could have been experiencing just really trying to leave this karmic cycle behind. And like, I get the feeling that you're tired. You're like, you've been done with this and you've known that you've needed to leave. And I just get the feeling that there have been a lot of obstacles or things that have wanted to pull you back into it, okay? But the next card that you got is also amazing, and this really goes with what I was talking about. So it's the butterfly, which is like massive, massive transformation, okay? Butterflies they're a really significant species, and every species is significant and important, but one of the things about butterflies is that the child butterfly, or the smaller butterfly, when it's born, it looks absolutely nothing like its adult counterpart, right? So like when humans are born, babies, we look like we will look as adults. I mean, obviously we're a lot smaller and we haven't fully developed yet, but we have a head, we have arms, we have legs, But with a butterfly, it's like completely, totally different. We've got a caterpillar, okay, which looks nothing like a butterfly. So this is like a radical transformation. I have a feeling that you're going through a change on many, many different levels. It feels, I'm hearing wounds. So you've really been working on some wounds, and that makes sense too, because we've got inner child growth on here as well. It talks about a relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child, and growth. Okay, so whether or not this is about a relationship issue, it might be for some of you, and for some of you it may not be, but it's definitely about growth, and I definitely feel it's about the inner child and healing some wounds. Okay, so we've got that. I feel like I want to get one more here. Is there anything else that Crystal A is dealing with at the present time? What else can you tell us about what Crystal A is dealing with at the present time? Okay. Okay, your next card was talking, which is very interesting, and it did come in reverse, okay? And it says, interested, conversing more, awaited message arrives, text, call, email, and then hoovering. Hoovering is actually something that narcissistic people do, or people with narcissistic tendencies can really tend to do this. And hoovering is like trying to suck somebody back in. I mean, that's really what it means. It's based on the term, the Hoover vacuum, right? Trying to vacuum somebody up, okay? So this could certainly be about a karmic relationship. And interesting. Okay, so I also just got the love call card. And it's someone expressing love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. I'm really getting the feeling that with the talking card, you don't want to talk to this person anymore. And I also got the feeling that you don't really want this call from them, okay? I think that you're dealing with someone and you really see who they are and you've known for a long time, and you just want to get away from this person. You want to get away from this, feels like a karmic type of soulmate. You really want to get into an energy where you aren't attached to toxic things anymore. You're not chained to someone, right? Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I just remembered too, my daughter's left this little butterfly on the counter today. So that's a beautiful confirmation. I just looked up and saw it right in front of me. So the green butterfly is really about your heart space, okay? So you're going through a massive transformation in your heart space. And this has to do with your inner child, and it has to do with healing your heart space. I feel like you were traumatized as a child. You, as a result, have attracted like the same type of person into your life over and over and over and over. And you have now gotten to the place where your self-worth is higher and stronger, and you're really seeing things for what they are. And this could be a really difficult separation or like breakup or whatever it is. This could be like somebody who had a major, major part in your life, but you know that you don't want to talk to this person anymore unless they can really change their ways, right? You don't want a love call unless it's a real love call, but it feels like slimy to me. It feels like, like the hoovering thing. It feels like you don't want to talk to this person anymore because you know what they're going to do. Like I just saw like an image of somebody kind of sticking their foot out to kind of like test the water. And that's like the person that's hoovering. Like they may be trying to bring you in with manipulation, and you see through it right now. Like fortunately, you finally see through it. Let's see if we have any more. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about Crystal A? Okay, so you got stabbed in the back. So I have a feeling that you were stabbed in the back by this person. The card was like kind of like that. So I don't think it's that you haven't been stabbed in the back. I think that you are healing yourself through that, okay? It says heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, or shocking attack, okay? And you may have experienced all of those things. So, wow, this is interesting. So the next card was sunglasses in the reverse, okay? So watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. I feel like you've taken off your rose-colored glasses, like I said before, and you're really seeing this person for who they are, okay? And you could really be putting up a wall so that they cannot get to you anymore. And I love the fact that this was on the deck after that, and this is the healing heart card. And I just love how she is sewing up her heart. I actually, when I'm doing my own healing work, I will often see myself sewing my heart up. So that's amazing. And this card says healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationships or addictions. So there you go. I mean, we just got it. I wasn't sure if it was going to be about that, but the other thing that I'm really getting for this crystal is you guys picked the golden tiger eye. And so golden tiger eye is all about power, okay? It's your solar plexus chakra, and that's where your power is. And I feel like this person, I have big chills right now. So you gave this person your power, but it wasn't intentional. I feel like they really manipulated you, and you have this purity to you and this freedom to you. Like I'm seeing like a fairy, okay? Like you just have this innocence about you. And I mean, all of us have, things that we do and all that kind of thing. But I feel like you're someone who has done a lot of growth work. Like, the fact that you're watching these videos, like you're trying to improve yourself, and you're a light worker. I definitely feel that, or you're an empath or a healer or something of that capacity. And I feel like overall, you try to do good in the world, okay? I don't feel like the person that you were with is the same type of person as you. And I think that you were really drawn into like their charisma and their confidence, and there are some good things about them or some things that you find attractive, but at this point it really feels like their shadow traits have gotten so out of control, and they just affect you so much, and they're like taking over this person, right? Like you're seeing less and less of the amazing things that you once saw, and you're just realizing like, you're not a diva, but you know that you deserve more and you deserve better. And I think it's difficult for you to be with someone who can be so manipulative and conniving at times, and I'm hearing like liar. So the song I'm hearing in my head is Beyonce, and it's Survivor. I don't know if that's Beyonce, or I guess it's Destiny's Child, Survivor. So you may want to look that up. And it's so interesting because I just today was working on a playlist of songs for people that are trying to get out of toxic relationships. And so Survivor is definitely on there. It's a great song. I mean, it's unbelievable. If you listen to the lyrics, it's like, will probably really hit home for you. So back to the golden tiger eye. So this one is actually broken at the top, like it's a taller thing. But I've talked about this in other videos of mine. Like there's nothing wrong with having a crystal that's broken. And what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Like that's what I just heard. So you're not broken. Like I really feel like this other person is the person that really has the problems. Like it's almost like you have it all. Like you're the total package. You just don't fully realize it yet, right? But you're on your way there. And this is about staying in your power, which is easier said than done, right? So let me see. I mean, I know what I'm getting energetically. I want to say like really try to stay detached from this person and don't let them in. Like if they are trying to hoover you, I feel like it gets you caught up in this like tug of war with them, right? So, but let's take a look. I want to look at, so I brought out some cards about power. I brought out the Magical Times cards, and I also brought out the Archangel Power Tarot cards. So I keep seeing the Five of Wands in my mind's eye, and that's about fighting. So it's like they want to pull you in to get you hooked on this. Like they want to get you hooked on them so that you get all like out of sorts, because they want to like tap into your energy. You have really good energy and they just want to tap into your energy, and they want you to take care of them. They don't want to take care of themselves. Like they're selfish. I hate to say that, but this is a selfish person, okay? And like they don't want to be in a mutual relationship. They don't even understand what that is. So let's see. What else can you tell me about? What can you tell me about this other person? Ha! So your first card is the Eight of Michael, okay? And this is the card of being trapped. Typically, this card is about, well, sometimes it can be about like being in a prison of your own making, but it's really important for me to say to you that this is why it's important that you have somebody, if you're listening to readings, that you're not just listening to somebody who doesn't even know anything about tarot or isn't even intuitive, because right now they could tell you like, oh no, it's the Eight of Michael. You're making this up. This is in your head. And I'm telling you right now, you're not making this up. This is not in your head. This is, you know, and these flowers right here, these are called bougainvillea, if that's the way you pronounce it, Villea. These are flowers for shielding your energy, okay? So there's one thing that you can do with this person to get them off you. You can shield your energy, okay? And if you don't know how to do that, or if you want somebody to walk you through it, I have a great cord cutting and shielding meditation. I also do like an aura protection, like an aura. I help you cleanse your aura. It's very easy. You don't have to have any experience in any of this stuff. And I created this meditation because I was in the same situation that I'm talking to you about right now with somebody, okay? With many people. Like as an empath, people want to hook into my energy all the time. They love how my energy feels. Like they love having the ability to be able to drop off their emotions and baggage with people like me, who may tend to like not have the best boundaries or want to take on stuff for people because they feel sorry for them. Or, you know, I'm saying that as like, that was really the past me. Okay. So I once heard it explained that the difference between codependency and being an empath is boundaries. Okay. So it's about standing in your power. And if you're an empath, I'm not saying that you take on everybody's problems and you don't have any boundaries. If you've never done any work to empower your empathic ability, you may do this and you may not even realize it, okay? But what this card is talking about is it says you can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation, not seeing things clearly. And what I said earlier about like, you're it, like you're the shit, you know, this other person, they're a house of cards. Like they know how to put on a great display and make it look like they're the shit, excuse my language, but they're not. I mean, if you were to like blow something at them, it would all fall down. Like they're not anywhere near as strong, as powerful, or as resilient as empathic people. Empathic people are some of the strongest people I know because they go through trial after trial after trial. Most of the time, they don't even ask for help. They deal with it all on their own. They deal with tons of energy all the time. Like, and I have major chills again. So yes. So consider the cord cutting and shielding meditation. It's under $10. You can download it as many times as you want. You can listen to it infinite times. You have it forever. It's yours. You can download it across multiple devices of yours. And it's like, I don't remember for sure because I recorded it in 2015, but it's between 10 and 15 minutes, okay? And I walk you through the entire thing, like 10 to 15 minutes. You will get peace from listening to this thing. You will feel stronger, okay? And you might have to do it a lot in the beginning, or maybe not, you know, it's really up to you, but it's so worth it. And it's got my energy in it. And it comes from somebody who really understands what it's like to be under siege or under attack or manipulated or taken advantage of by other people, especially those that you're very close to, okay? Guys, just so you understand, like I don't want to get too much into my own stuff here because it's a reading about you, but I've had to cut cords, and I have, at one point, my husband was incredibly narcissistic. He's not anymore, thank goodness, but that took a long time. I mean, he's a completely different person now, but he was very narcissistic 17 years ago when we first met, okay? So I went through a lot with him, and over the last couple years, and then I went through it with my in-laws, and over the last couple years, it's been with my own parents. I also have a sister who has extreme narcissistic tendencies. So it's like, it's come at me from all sides, okay? I really, really get it. And I've done a lot of work and a lot of learning. I get it. I get the empath narcissist dynamic, okay? And I also know how to break free from it. So that's what you've got there. And I really feel like I'm so happy. So we see Michael here, and I happen to notice my nails when I was talking, okay? I got this blue color specifically so that I could have Archangel Michael, by me in a more like reminding me that he's with me, okay, this week. So Archangel Michael is with you. So there's another thing that you can do. You can pray, or you can just talk to Archangel Michael and say, I need to let go of these things. Please take these things for me, okay? So that's an actionable step that you can make, or that you can take. And okay, so I picked up this was on the bottom. I heard to look at the bottom. So this is the 6 of Ariel, and it's the 6 of coins or the 6 of pentacles, right? The 6 of pentacles is really about giving and receiving. And what I'm really hearing for you, like I happened to glance at this card, and it talked about acts of kindness. And what I'm really hearing for you is that it's not time for you to give right now. You've got to get yourself in balance, and you need to be in relationships that are balanced, where you are respected and there is a give and take, a reciprocity. So it's not just you putting all the attention out there, or all of the money out there, all of the energy, okay? And yeah, it's like, and the scales are here. So, well, there's apples, right, that kind of look like scales right here, scale of balance. So you could be a Libra, but it feels to me like you feel that there are certain things that are unjust in your life, and that could be causing your emotions to go like this. But the other thing that's causing your emotions to go like this is that this relationship is totally against your truth. Like, you know what you deserve, and you know that this isn't right. The situation is not right. And it's just like, that it's unbalanced, right? So I feel like you're really, really trying to break free from this, though. So I just want to commend you on that. I know how difficult it is. Let's look at these magical times cards real quick and see what we got here. So what can they do to have this energy ease up, like just the difficulty? How can they bring more calm into their life? Okay, so the card that you got was creation, but it was in the reverse, okay? So what I'm hearing here, and there's a hummingbird here, and hummingbirds are really about being in the moment, okay? So this talks about your words creating your reality, your choices becoming your reality. I really feel like you may be getting caught up, like this person might be doing this hoovering to you or some other narcissistic technique. And I don't think they're really aware of it. I don't think they would know, like, oh yeah, I'm hoovering that person. They just do it. And I feel like I'm just going to be really blunt. I feel like you really need to cut this person off. Like, cut them off. Separate from them if you haven't, and make it very clear that X amount of time needs to pass before they contact you again, okay? If you even want that. You might even be in a position where you can't even do that. And, there's a lot of things said out there in society about, like, blood's thicker than water, especially if it's your family, or life is short, blah, blah, blah. There's so many triggers out there. And while those, I appreciate those, as somebody who is dealing with a very toxic and even abusive person, it's really difficult, and it feels very invalidating when people say to you, it's family, but it's family. You only have one mother or father, you only have one child, or you only have one sister. It's really hard. So what I'm really getting is, don't push forward. Like, don't try to create anything with this person. Don't try to create a new beginning with this person, right? You've put it in. Like, I feel like you've put so much in, and it's like inappropriate. Like, it's just, you've taken on too much. They aren't pulling their weight, and it's really, you're also carrying a lot of shame and stuff for them. So, and then with the hummingbird, it's about being present. So really just try to be mindful and be present. If you find yourself like thinking about this person, or I feel like they get kind of caught in your mind and then like you don't know what to do, right? It's like their energy is they have anxious energy, even though they don't show it. And when they reach out to you, it's like you just take that on and then it becomes yours, right? So just try to like seriously Also, I just remembered that cord cutting meditation, another big part of it is shielding. So I walk you through shielding your energy so that you can have some protection from this person. I love this because your next card is gentleness, okay? This is perfect. This is exactly what you need, and it's what you're missing. This is what this other person does not have. They don't have gentleness. They don't have nurturing. They don't really have love. They may tell you they love you, but they don't understand what real love is, okay? So it says, strength is gentle, true kindness has wings. Love in action endures. This is not about you giving to this other person. I mean, this last sentence could almost be misconstrued. I see these doves here though, and this is really talking about peace, okay? So I'm just gonna give you an example of something that I've been doing recently, and that's just acceptance. If I have like thoughts about this person, it's like, okay, this person might be thinking about me because I'm an empath and I'm a psychic, and I can feel when other people are thinking about me. And I also know a lot of times what their thoughts are about situations. And I'll like get hooked in that way. Like, even if they haven't reached out to me, I'll know what they're thinking, or if they're thinking about reaching out or manipulating me, I can feel it. And so I'll find myself getting in this back and forth, and like, it really drains your energy. So what I've started doing is just radically accepting like, oh, this person's thinking about me, and oh, they're thinking this, and there isn't anything I can do about it, because trying to fight that off, like, and also trying to prevent it from happening, like I can avoid it, right? And I can put up boundaries, but people like this often don't even listen to boundaries, okay? I mean, that's been my experience with a lot of people like this. They just keep doing what you ask them not to do. And so at this point, I've gotten myself to the place where they're probably gonna cross my boundary again. And then I'm not like super surprised when it happens, and it's easier for me to just let it like wash over me. So, wow, your next card is strength. I mean, this is great. And it's really great with this golden tiger eye. I mean, this is strength right here. And it's the tiger. So you can tap into the energy of the tiger. This is an amazing crystal. I definitely would recommend that you get a piece of golden tiger eye. It's because your solar plexus is your center of confidence, willpower, self-esteem, and it's also psychic power, okay? So it'll help you strengthen that core. I will put a link to that below. And then your last card is nature. So this is what is going to help you as well. Getting into nature. And I didn't even read the polar bear because I was so excited. It says, you have courage, you can endure. Find your center and spiral into your power. So it's like just imagining that center of power in you and just connecting with it and staying connected to it, okay? The other thing is that the polar bear here is standing on ice, okay? So this is a confirmation to me of you icing this person out of your life, icing them out. You may even want to think about them in a block of ice, like they can't affect you because they're over here and they're stuck in this block of ice, okay? You also could think about your emotions or thoughts, especially your thoughts. If you have thoughts that just keep coming and coming and coming about this person and you're having a hard time detaching, it's okay. Just take that thought and imagine putting it on ice, okay? And then the nature, I love the fact that you've got this little fawn here. And then this lady looks like a little fairy to me. She kind of did. Like I saw the branches and I thought she was a fairy, and I mentioned the fairy at the beginning, okay? So this says, sometimes all you need is to go outside. Breathe the fresh air to remember who you are and where you want to be. So just spending some time in nature. And one of the best things that you can do is after you watch this video, like click on save and click on watch later in case you need to come back to this. Like for me, I find that when I'm in that type of state, because of course you feel afraid, like you feel terrified of this person. They've got this overbearing energy on you. And so I will have a hard time. Like I'll get into fight or flight or freeze. And then it's like, I don't know what to do. Like I forget what to do. And it's not just me. It happens to all of us because we're human beings. And when we're in fight or flight, we go into this like reptilian brain and we literally can't access our higher brain. We can't access higher thinking. Okay. So it helps to have like a list of things to do when you get in that type of predicament. So you can save this reading. And also I would suggest like just going to your calendar right away and setting up time for yourself to get in nature, right? Set up time to be gentle with yourself. Put a reminder in your phone that if you start having thoughts about this person, to put them on ice. So those are all things that you can do. I really hope that you like this reading. I hope that it resonates. I really understand this energy and how difficult it can be. I'm also feeling like hearing that like something that you can do is like take a cold shower. Like if you are having a hard time stopping, and if you're tapping into somebody else's thoughts, it can be very, very difficult. Okay. So look for the cord cutting, shielding, and aura clearing meditation below. I'll have a link for that. Save the video if you think that that would benefit you in the future. I will definitely have a link to Golden Tiger Eye. And if you did resonate with the reading, please go down below and leave me a comment. It really, really helps my channel. It helps me know also like what you guys are interested in, what you're resonating with, right? Like I'll do more videos on stuff like this if this is something that you guys really like. And if you are interested in receiving notifications anytime I post a new reading, go down below, click on the red subscribe button and the wiggly bell right next to it. That way you will get a notification on your phone every time I post a new reading. Okay? I hope you have a great day, and I really am thinking of you and wishing you the best with this situation. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hey, to everybody that chose Crystal B, this beautiful green apophyllite crystal. And green apophyllite is really soothing. I mean, even just looking at it, it's just super soothing. And it's also really, really great for purifying, clearing out the heart center. That is what it is most well known for, clearing and purifying the heart center. So I will put a link to green apophyllite in the description box below if you're interested in getting some. And apophyllite, just if it's not green, is also an amazing crystal for purifying. You can just put it in a room and it will absorb lower toxic energies, okay? But the fact that you picked the green one really tells me that this has something to do with your heart, okay? And some type of healing that you're going through or wounding that you have and purifying your energy. So I am very interested to see what kind of cards we get for you and, you know, to look and to find out more about what it is that your emotions are trying to tell you. Stack A was like, wow, really intense, but a lot of great information there. So that was also about the heart healing. It was about a toxic relationship. So if that resonates with you, you may want to check out Stack A. Okay, which cards do I want to start with? I feel like I want to start with these Magical Times cards. So these are by Jody Bergsma, and she also is the author of the Spirit Animal Oracle cards that are just fantastic. I actually never even realized that before doing this. So these are empowerment cards. So let's see. This probably has something to do with power. So let's find out, what are the listeners dealing with, or what can you tell me about any like erratic or up and down emotions that they've been experiencing? Feeling like some of you may be Cancer, the sign of Cancer, and others of you, we are about to go into the sign of Cancer. And so if you're an empath, you may take on the energy of that sign. And so Cancer is extremely sensitive. It's the crab. That's what its animal is, right? And so crabs have a very hard outer shell, but they are extremely soft on the inside, okay? So Cancer is watery, sensitive. You know, crabs also live in the ocean and they go back and forth between the water and the sand and the land, right? So you probably have psychic or intuitive abilities, you could have mediumship abilities, or you could just be on a spiritual path and you go back and forth between. So the water could also be your emotions. Water stands for emotions as well. So you're going back, you're going in and out of the emotions, right? So the first card that came up was friendship. So this could have something to do with a friendship of yours. Maybe you're having problems in a friendship. Okay, it says, be with the ones who make you shine, who love you and really care. Keep those and let the others go, okay? So I feel like this has something to do with a relationship. It could even be a romantic relationship, but with a friend. And I love the fact that we've got these two white unicorns on here, okay? Unicorns are about purity and uniqueness, and white is really about purity. So you're a special person. The next card you have is gratitude. And this says, be grateful for abundance, live in appreciation for what you have, and more good things will come. I also am noticing the hummingbird, which we had in Stack A as well. And the hummingbird is really about finding the joy and the sweetness in every day. And so, you know, it's kind of hard when you get a card like this, like gratitude, because it can make you feel, if you receive this card, it can make you feel like you're doing something wrong or whatever. And I never want to give you that impression, okay? I don't want to give you the impression of, I don't want to give you any type of shaming. Like, we have enough of that stuff going on. Like, I don't want to do that. But one thing that you could look at is with the hummingbird and the sweetness of life. Like, could you possibly make a little bit more time for enjoying things that you love, right? Like, maybe you're just really busy. Maybe you're a mom or a grandparent and you've just been really doing things for everybody else, and you haven't really taken a lot of time for yourself to really experience the sweet things. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be sweet to the world. It just has to be sweet to you, right? It can also be about being present, right? Like just really being present in the moment instead of in fear or anxiety. And that's kind of what I got from the gratitude card. It could indicate like you may just have been having a lot of things that seemed negative, or you may have lost something, right? Or someone recently. And it is human nature. Like, we actually evolved to pick out the negatives. Like, if you take 10 people and you tell them to, you know, you take them somewhere and you tell them to just like talk about, you know, pros and cons or what they see, or even if you just go around 10 people, let's say you go to a vacation spot, right? It's not going to take long for people to start pointing out like, well, they could have done that better, or I wish they had this. We are literally wired to do that, okay? It's evolution, and the reason that it happened is so that we can scan for threats, right? So that we don't get chased by a tiger or whatever. We don't live in that time anymore, but we are still going, we have to go against our brain at times, our reptilian brain, which is the oldest part of the brain that we have, right? Which was like when we were hunters and gatherers. So it needs to be a positive practice. We have to, like, most people have to really take time to develop a practice of gratitude and to develop the skill of finding the positive instead of the negative, because we are wired that way, okay? So that's what I'm really getting off of the gratitude card. So it seems like a friendship could be causing this emotional ups and downs for you. And then also just, you know, I mean, you could just be on like a bad run and, you know, this thing happened and then, oh no, this next thing happened and then this happened, you know, I mean, it sucks. Like, no matter who you are and how strong you are, I don't care who you are. Like, after 5 or 6 things go wrong, it's hard. It is hard, right? So it's okay to struggle. It's okay to have challenges. Everybody has challenges, okay? Everybody. Also, I don't know what this flower is, but when I looked at it, it looked like a lotus. And so lotus flowers are all about the root chakra. So you could be feeling scared. You may have been feeling frightened recently or anxious, and I've got big chills right now. So I'm guessing that's what it is. And it could be about this friendship, right? This could be kind of like a little bit of a codependent relationship where you really rely on this person, or this person could remind you of somebody from your childhood who was like a bully or, you know, kind of intimidating, and it's rocking your world. Like you don't feel safe anymore, okay? I mean, that's not going to be for everybody, but could be for some of you. So that's what I'm getting off of these cards. That is what's causing this emotional high and low emotions. And what can be done about that? So I really felt to pull from these cards again. And so what I got was dance. And that is so funny. I mean, this is like a huge frog that's like dancing with her. That's hilarious. And so the good thing is that frogs really represent like hopping away from danger. So that's good. And dance, yeah, this is like a sacral chakra thing. So it's about your emotions, right? So it's going to be your sacral chakra. And dance is really good for balancing your sacral chakra. The sacral chakra, is the second chakra, right? It's below your belly button. It's where all your reproductive organs are. It's also the home of all your emotions. And it also is where manifestation occurs, creation. And it's also where emotions can get clogged or blocked. And it's also where addiction and codependency lie. So this says, find your heart's rhythm, step lightly, and swing with the melody. Close your eyes and let joy lead the way. So I just feel like you haven't been experiencing a lot of joy recently. That's what I'm feeling. And that is what is causing you, that's another thing that's causing you to not have these, to not be on like a super even keel. So the good news is, and again, we've got this frog, and frogs are land and water, and that's what I talked about originally too. So this is beautiful. And then there's another thing here that looks like either a lotus flower or like something with a lily pad. So that's, yeah, it is. They are lotus flowers. That's so beautiful. I love it. There is a shadow back here that's making me think of a dachshund dog. So if anybody out there has a dachshund or you had a dachshund that passed, this is a hello or a confirmation for you. I'm also feeling like being around your pets, if you have a pet, would really benefit you. And if you don't have a pet, go online. There's like puppy cams and a lot of different animals. No matter what animal it is that you like, I bet you can find a camera for it. Like there's like birds in the wilderness, and then you can look at zoos, webcams. I mean, there's lots of different things. So I really feel like, yeah, these cards have all had animals on them. So I feel like that would be really beneficial for you. I also see the moon back here, right? So another thing that's impacting your emotions is the moon. You could be the sign of Cancer, like I said, or you could have your moon in Cancer, or you could be being affected by the eclipses. That is like the other one that I'm really feeling. So if you're being affected by something that you don't have any control over, it's really about understanding and accepting it, just showing yourself radical acceptance. Like, this is where I'm at, and trying to let go of anything that you're like, you know, trying to really like hang on to. The other thing I just noticed is the dragonfly, and I've had the dragonfly pop up in a couple personal readings that I've done this week. And dragonflies are really about rising above, and they're about like magic, activating magic. They're very, very ancient old creatures that have been around for a very long time. And they're about magic. So don't forget about the magic of the universe, right? So that could just be things like noticing synchronicities, and when you notice those synchronicities, really enjoying them, really basking in them. And like, for example, if you get synchronicities in this reading, right, you might want to watch some more readings. You want to do things where your synchronicity level will be increased, okay? You want to do things that you enjoy. And then, of course, you want to do, I was going to the symbolism, so I didn't even really talk about the dancing. Dancing is going to help you move some of those emotions. I feel like there's some stuck emotions there. I feel like there's some stuck emotions from childhood there, or some wounds and things that are getting hit, that they're original childhood wounds, but they're being hit right now, or being triggered, okay? So dancing is going to help you move some of that stuff. It's also going to help you get out of your mind and get into your body, which is a form of grounding, which is going to be amazing for you. And it's going to help you raise your vibration. I mean, I just started really listening to music again. I mean, I always listen to singing bowls in the morning and certain meditations, but I just started listening to like music, like that they play on the radio or whatever. And it has helped me so much. It's amazing. I mean, it's like I can hear a song and like my mood can shift like 10 seconds into it. So I'm actually right now putting together a blog post of some of the best songs for like leaving a toxic relationship. So watch for that. I'm sure I will mention it in a video soon that I do, but I feel like you've gotten some really great cards, and you can also get yourself a piece of green apophyllite, okay? This just feels really calming to me. It's like a seafoam green. It feels so calming. And even getting yourself a piece of clothing in this color, like the seafoam green. But, getting a piece of green apophyllite, putting it on your heart, and just imagining that energy pouring over you and healing you, I know will really, really benefit you. So I'm going to pick one more card for you, and I'm going to pull from the Cherub Angels, because this is a really soft, loving and gentle deck. Oh yeah, right on the bottom of the deck is artwork, and I like almost said that and I didn't. So I feel like getting a painting or anything, a photograph or something that has this, or what I was even seeing was you painting something like this color. That would really highly benefit you. You could get yourself like something like this crystal and you could paint it. You could sketch it and then you could paint it if that's your thing. Or you can even take like a screenshot right now of me holding it here, and you could use that and draw it and just have like watercolor or something like that. So artwork will really benefit you. Dance is a form of art. Anything else that will really benefit Crystal B. Wow, okay. Your cards here are, there is nothing to fear. And it's got these beautiful 2 dogs. There's nothing to fear. Think about your dreams coming true. And there's a kitty with this cute little angel. And then your last card is, we are all different. So you're a sensitive person. And this is a chickadee. And that's another animal. And I've said this before, but I have someone related to someone that I know who comes to me as a chickadee. So there is someone with you. It could be a mother figure or a grandmother figure, someone who felt like a mother to you. That person is with you right now in spirit. So I'm going to leave it there. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. If you resonated with it, please go down below, take a moment and leave me a comment. I love hearing what resonates with you. It really helps me to know, which readings you guys like and what you want more of. And then also, if you are interested in getting more of my readings, you can go down below and click on the red subscribe button and the wiggly bell that's right next to it. When you do that, you make sure that you get subscribed to my readings, and you will receive a notification on your device anytime I upload a new free psychic reading. Okay, I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye. Hey, to everybody that chose Crystal C. And if you chose Crystal C, you chose this amazing piece of Celestite. This piece of Celestite has a lot of like the rock on it, as you can see, and it's even got some hot glue, which is really unfortunate. They like hot glued it to put a price tag on it, and I've never gone in there really to get it out, but that's okay. I will one day. I'm also noticing that this has a lot of striations on it. I don't know if you can see those. Yeah, see those lines that go like that? So those are striations, and then it even has these steps. Whoops, right here. It has these things that look like steps. If you see that, it looks like the side of a mountain or something that you could like climb up right there. That's at least what I see. can see the steps there. So, and you can see the hot glue really bad on the top. So anyways, Celestite is a beautiful, beautiful high vibration crystal. It's extremely calming. I actually have a different piece of it over here that I'm going to go grab in a second, but it's really calming and it is really good for the throat chakra. So if you have problems asserting yourself, speaking up, speaking your truth, especially if you like observe a lot and you like hold it, you tend to just not say anything to anybody. It is also really good for angelic communication or connecting with higher vibration energies, particularly the angels. I have a really good article on my blog that is also, it talks about all the different crystals that are, well, a bunch of different crystals that are good for angelic communication. So I will put a link to that below for you. And then I will also put a link to Celestite, but the piece that I put down will not have a big chunk of hot glue in it. It makes me crazy that they put that on here, but it's okay. I will get it off at some point. And then, like I said, this is just rock, right? Because it was in the rock. I mean, that's how the crystals form. So, okay, I had to go get my big piece of Celestite because it's so gorgeous. So this one, this is like druzy in here. Druzy is like these really little tiny crystals that like really, really sparkle like that. I mean, it's so amazing. But over here, you can see that's kind of similar to the other one. So it's such a pretty color. I really feel like it's so pretty. So these are like big chunks right here. And then all the rest of it is druzy. And then the back is rock, just like the other one. So I just wanted to show you this one because it's got so much good energy. The energy on this thing is like unbelievable. Very, very calming and very soothing. Okay, so I definitely feel like you're under like high stress, or, you know, I feel like you picked the Celestite for a reason because you need calming, soothing energy at this time. You may also be having a difficult time deciphering what's your intuition and what's not, or you want to connect with the angels, right? So the angels have a really nurturing, high vibration energy. So let's see. For you, I'm feeling like I want to pull from these Power of Surrender cards. I don't know why, but they were speaking to me. So let's find out what is making Crystal C feel so emotional. What was making Crystal C feel so emotional? Okay, so you got surrender to effortlessness. And so if you think about like doing something, like taking action, making it happen, it's very different than effortlessness or like going with the flow, right? So your card says, stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. So I find it interesting that you picked this card because it's the same color as water. And your other card is surrender denial. Accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. So, you know, I was like hesitant to take these cards because sometimes they do come across as harsh to me. Like, stop pushing so hard. Like, I personally wouldn't have written it that way, but I'm going to accept the author that wrote it in the way that she wrote it, okay? But some of the cards do strike me that way. So what I'm getting so far is that it really feels like a relationship or something. Maybe it could even be like a career, but something that you're really putting a lot of effort into and thinking that all of that effort is going to turn into something, and it hasn't. And then it gets you frustrated. That's the impression that I'm getting right now. So I feel like this could have to do with divine timing. And for whatever reason, like you want something to work and it doesn't seem to be working. And so what this is talking about to me is, you know, take a step back and try to stop pushing. And I know how hard this is because I can get into this energy too at times. So I tend to be kind of an ambitious person. And so if something isn't happening and I'm putting effort in, I'm like, why isn't it happening? Like, I'm doing everything it's saying that that I should be doing. Why isn't it happening, right? So divine timing is probably at play, and you probably would be better served not trying so hard, okay? So this really feels this energy of like pushing. That's like a masculine energy, okay? Of that like over pushing or just really pushing, go, 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 go. And yeah, so it's about bringing in more divine feminine energy. And you also might be, just because you are the way that you are, right? If you tend to put a lot of effort into things and you tend to move things forward, it doesn't mean that everybody else is that way, okay? And that's definitely a lesson that I have personally learned. There's a lot of people that aren't that way. I would say the majority of people aren't that way, right? And as much as I want them to be that way, they just aren't that way, right? And typically, if we are trying to get somebody to do something and we're pushing them, I don't know about you, but for me, if somebody's pushing me, it like repels me. I don't want anything to do with it, right? Because I don't want their pushy energy on me, right? I'm not saying you're being pushy. I don't know. But I feel like the people that watch my channel are pretty gentle overall. So, okay. So your next card is surrender to trust, right? And so this really fits with the divine timing thing that I was talking about, right? So if you believe that there's some type of something out there, a universal mind or something bigger than you that's kind of like in charge of what's going on, right? They might not be in charge of every little thing, but there is like a greater purpose or greater plan for you. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. It could be easier for you to surrender to trust. What this card is talking about is actually very different than what I thought. And this card says, trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. Okay, so this is really different than surrender to effortlessness. So that could certainly be causing some of your up and down feelings. You could be experiencing information coming to you and it's contradictory, okay? And it's like, you're just like, I don't know what to do. What do I do, right? And not everything is so black and white either. So it could be a situation where you could be trying to push this one thing and that isn't the thing to be pushed right now. But, and I feel like, yeah, with trust, I mean, it says take action, but you could take action to step back. You could take action to go with the flow, right? So you will really have to trust yourself here. I mean, that's what the card talks about. What I was really feeling though before I read the words was about trusting the universe and trusting in divine timing. So this is a general reading. So you'll have to take what you like, take what resonates with you, and then leave the other part, because there were a couple different things in here, right? It could be the fact that you could be receiving information that's completely contradictory, okay? That could be a cause of a result of Mercury retrograde. Could be a result of other things. Could be a result of the eclipse. And it could also be the result of maybe you're learning the lesson to really trust yourself. And then we had surrender to effortlessness, and then it said to take action. But like I said, I feel like you can take action to surrender to effortlessness, okay? I think what you really want here is to be in balance. You don't want to be pushing so hard that you're repelling things, and you don't want to be so attached that you're repelling things. And being in the flow is where you need to be, really, to manifest. So, but I can see why that would be really tricky. Okay, so now we've got another card that is talking about surrender to what is. And this says flow with what is instead of fighting it. So I'm like kind of going through this myself this week. So this is very interesting. It's like another layer has come off, and I'm seeing like all these other places where I'm not accepting what is. Like I'm really wanting to have certain things this way. And okay, so with this card, the fact that it says flow with what is instead of fighting it, when you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. So, I mean, you just might have things in your life. Like, I know for me, I have certain people in my life that I'm like, why don't they get this? Like, why aren't they hearing me? Why aren't they doing anything different? And like, if that were you or something similar, these cards are telling you that there's absolutely nothing you can do. Like, you've got to just accept where it is And the fighting against it, like the putting the energy in and the effort repeatedly and seeing nothing change is very frustrating, right? So if you choose to just surrender to, okay, they don't hear me, right? They don't hear me, they're not changing. You know, there's such a difference between trying again, trying to get them to hear you, right? And then just saying, they can't hear me, right? It's like you're pulling your energy away from that and your attachment away from that. And then you allow yourself to go with the flow, okay? So this is really starting to talk to me about what it is. Okay, surrender to your soul's path also came up. Your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. So you may be in a situation where you feel like you've been doing the same lesson over and over and over. And, you know, 2 or 3 years ago, you may have gone through a really difficult period and been like, oh my gosh, that was so hard. That must have been it. I'm so glad it's over. And then it may have just come back and come back and come back, right? And so what this is saying, and this really goes along with the Trust Your Universe card. So I'm feeling like that's what this is talking about. You got to just trust the universe, because for whatever reason, like, you haven't done anything wrong, right? You aren't like causing this, okay? For whatever reason, the universe is saying, you don't understand right now because you don't have all the information, but you need to do this again. You need to experience this again, okay? And I feel like it's really important for your growth. That's just what I really feel. And I also really feel like I have chills too. I feel like you are so much stronger than you think you are. Like, I feel like you haven't even really tapped into all the power that you have. And if you did, but I don't think it's something that you can just be like, okay, I'm going to tap into the power. Like, it comes through these lessons, okay? But the green on this card is really, really speaking to me. Like, I feel like you're really growing. So it's important to be very gentle to yourself, get out in nature. And your next card is surrender the drama, okay? And this might just be, no matter how emotionally charged the situation, remain calm and don't contribute to the drama. Staying centered will help resolve the issue more quickly. I really touched on this, and I feel like I touched on it in both the first 2 crystals. So you might want to check those out. You've got, especially with the first one, like, we've got this man here who's got 2 wolves. So I feel like you could be dealing with someone who's a wolf in sheep's clothing. So if it's a narcissistic person, if it's somebody who's trying to hoover you or like hook you back into something, I definitely talked about that in the first stack, and I may have talked about it in the second one. So I would encourage you to check those out. And then the next card is surrender worry. So I feel like you could be trying to unhook from this stuff, but you're like, what do I do? Like, if I'm not putting effort in, who's going to put effort in, right? And so this also goes with the acceptance of other people, like accepting yourself, accepting your worry. If you feel worried, it says, when worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that spirit is always guiding you, okay? And then lastly, I'm going to stop here. Surrender to divine timing, because that's what I talked about with that one card with trust. And there's a huge moon on here. I talked about that. So the moon is definitely affecting you right now. The lunar cycles are affecting you. Sometimes divine timing may differ from your ego's timing. I don't know if I would say that, but if a goal isn't manifesting fast enough, according to your ego, I definitely wouldn't say that either. Be patient and trust the universal flow. So I wouldn't say your ego, just your desires, you know. If it isn't going fast enough for your desires, or, I mean, you may have just poured your heart and soul into something and just, you're like, what the heck? Why isn't this happening? Like, right? And it is frustrating. I validate you. And, you know, it's frustrating to pour your heart into something and have like nothing change. It's so frustrating. It's difficult. I also am going to do this one, and it's surrender resentments, okay? This is like when you feel bitter inside, when you feel like somebody's wronged you or something like that. It can really poison you. This is the thing about like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies, right? It's important though it says try to forgive others for their shortcomings. So forgiveness is for you. It's not for anybody else, and it doesn't mean that you go back into their life. If somebody has hurt you so bad where you have this huge resentment, in my opinion, you can forgive it, but if they aren't going to change their behavior moving forward and it really, really hurt you, if they aren't even willing to look at it, they're not a trustworthy person, okay? People that aren't willing to listen to what another person is saying to them, especially somebody who's very important to them, they're not open or willing to at least listen to what that person has to say and then like look at where they could possibly be doing that. They're not a trustworthy person, they're not a supportive person, and they're not a healthy person. And so unfortunately, as hard as it is, they may not be the right person for you in your life. I mean, it's up to you. Each person is going to have to figure that out for themselves. But surrendering the resentments, like I really see you like writing this out and then burning it. Or I've said this in the other two stacks, I'm putting together a playlist that's like for strength when you're like leaving a toxic relationship, or really any time if you just feel down or you feel, you know, small or whatever. It's songs that like can really empower you, right? So I can see you, like the song Survivor is on there by Destiny's Child. Like, you know, the kind of resentment that I'm thinking of is like people that I'm just feeling this for this stack, like don't notice you or don't see how awesome you are, or are just like oblivious because they're in their own world. Like or you may have done a lot for this person. And resentments also, it's important to keep your eye open for resentments because they can show you where you're over giving. It can show you where you're giving too much to someone else and they're not reciprocating to you, right? It can show you where you have an unbalanced relationship. So that's good information to have. So I did use different cards for each of those stacks. Let's see. I feel like I want to get you one more. So what does stack C have to look forward to? What does stack C have to look forward to? Wow, okay. So this came up originally, and now here it is again, and it's the Knight of Raphael. So it's the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a very emotional, it can make you feel very emotional. It's about like being swept off your feet. So if you are a romantic person, I'm guessing that you are. I feel like this stack is really in touch with like Venus type energy. Just be careful, but you could also sweep yourself off your feet. The other card that was there is the Empress. So this is the card of Libra. So you could be a Libra. The Empress is a very powerful divine feminine energy, and it says, time to act upon your plans, creativity is rewarded, luxurious or abundant resources. And we've got a butterfly here, and I talked about the butterfly twice in stack A. So you definitely want to check out stack A. We've got two birds, like kind of like looking at each other right here. Okay, so this I really feel like could also be about you bringing in somebody who in the future who really loves you, somebody who sees your worth and value and like treats you like you deserve. The Empress is the combination of all four of the queens. So it's a woman who, she doesn't have to really act. Everything just comes to her. She knows it's coming and she just like magnifies all this stuff. Okay. So that's the other thing that I'm really getting there. So I am going to leave you there. I hope that the reading helped you. If it did, or if you resonated with anything, please go down below and leave me a comment. I love hearing from you, and it helps me know, what kind of topics to put out, what you guys like, and, maybe what you don't. And also, if you are interested in receiving more free readings from me like this one, make sure you go down below and click on the red subscribe button and the wiggly bell. That way you will get notified anytime I put up a new free reading. Okay, I will talk to you again really soon. Bye.